Hi guys, it's Sarah back again with another episode of my Flosstube. This is Little Snips. That's the name of the Flosstube anyway. It's what I go by on Instagram and Flosstube. Again, my name is Sarah. If you are coming back, thank you for coming back and watching my videos again. And if you are new to my channel, thanks for stopping by. I'm glad you're checking out somebody new. This is episode 32, my favorite number, and it is March 4th, 2019. I should have filmed on March 1st, but I didn't get the chance to do that because it is Tech Week for one of my shows. Well, the next show in the lineup. It's Tech Week, which means I'm in the theater a lot, running around like crazy, and on the 1st, I just didn't have the time to do it. So, since things are a little off-kilter because of my play opening this week, I wasn't going to have an episode ready for you on March 15th either, so we're doing an episode today. 2 weeks from today will be the 18th, which is the day after my show closes. So I might be able to do an episode then. It might not happen until like the 20th, but it'll happen sometime in the middle of the month. Right. This is a Flosstube mostly about cross-stitching. I do some other things, and today I'm actually going to show you a few of those other things. So hopefully that'll be interesting. Hopefully my lighting's good. Hopefully a storm doesn't roll through. We've been getting a lot of rain again. Today we're supposed to have no rain. The rain starts up again tomorrow. So cross your fingers that we don't flood. We've already had some, but hopefully we won't have a lot more. My thoughts go out to all of those in Alabama who are affected by the tornadoes. That's terrifying. Tornadoes are my thing. Like, the thing that I'm mostly afraid of. That and nuclear war, but I'm an 80s kid, so a lot of us have that fear. But yeah, tornadoes terrify me. So I feel very sorry for those who were impacted and affected by those tornadoes, and I hope that people are able to recover and heal as best they can. My thoughts are with you. Yeah, I'm going to get right to it because the last couple of videos I've sort of run out of space for making videos, and as usual I have quite a few things to show you. So, first things first, since you guys are probably here to see stitching, I will show you the stitching that I have accomplished since February 15th, which is when my last video happened. You may hear a noise in the background. My landscapers just showed up, of course. They haven't been able to be here for a while because of the rain, so if you hear lawnmowers, bear with me. They shouldn't be around for too long. Right. So the first thing I'm going to show you is something that I haven't showed you before, though it is something that's been in progress for a while. You know I finished my little Mill Hill bird, Belinda, that is still coming to you. So I had to swap out something new for my little project that's in my rotation. And of course I'm going to look down a lot because I'm trying to find the picture. So I swapped in one of my oldest, the oldest I think, Brooks books pattern that I have, which is the Spirit of Knitting Angel. She looks like this. And yeah, that's a paper copy because that was back before I did much of anything online, at least stitching wise. So yeah, anyway, that's what she looks like with her sheep and all of her knitted items. I'm making this for a friend of mine who's a very old friend who I don't have very good contact with anymore, and I miss her a lot, so I figured I would make this for her. So I should probably put paper behind this because you're not going to be able to see it otherwise. But this is that the right side? Nope, I showed you the back, of course. This is where I am on the angel herself. So I have some filling in to do on her, and I need to finish her face. Obviously, she's a little creepy looking right now. But that's where I am on the angel herself, and then let me get the paper back. I'm so coordinated. Here is where I am with the... What? Can you see those? Yes, you can. Okay. Here's where I am with the accessories. The sheep is pretty much done. He needs a couple of things, but he's pretty much done. Needs some back stitching. The basket is mostly done. It needs some filling in, as you can see there on the bottom. It's not solid. But the socks and everything are completed, as you saw on the angel piece. I have to do her wings, which are on a piece of metallic paper, and then I will assemble her and get her shipped off to my friend. So that was the first thing I worked on. Or not the first thing chronologically, but the first thing I'm showing you. Let's see, what's next? Next up, I'm going to show you my fantasy stitch along from Lakeside Needlecraft and Doreen Jones. I worked again on the February portion of this. which means I worked on the mermaid, which you can see right there. Again, I am converting her hair to brown instead of the blonde that came in the pattern. You probably can't, I don't know how well you can see this because I can't see it real well, but you can see better in real life the fact that there's more stitching in there. I did the light blue, which is the bubbles and water that are surrounding her tail. I think that's what it's supposed to be anyway. Yeah, it's hard to see. Even on the fabric, it's hard to see, but it's easier because you can pull it closer. Anyway, I worked on her. This is another one of those ones where sometimes I'm feeling it and sometimes I'm not. It took me a while to get through the bubbles and such this time. So, but she'll come up again and I'll continue working on it until she's finished. The whole thing is finished, not just the mermaid. The next thing I worked on, again, this is a stitch along. It is by Ingleside Imaginarium, Brittany Church, and it is the Guardians of Notre Dame. This was last year's stitch along. I have not started or signed up for even this year's stitch along because we've discussed that before. Not doing that. But it looks amazing, and I'm going to get it once I have cleared some things off my plate. So Brittany, don't worry. I'm not abandoning you. I don't dislike this stitch along at all. I think it's going to be really cool. I just don't have room for it on my plate right now, but I will get there. This is Guardians of Notre Dame. This is where I am, and as you can see, I didn't do a lot. I worked on February, which is this guy over here. Yeah, I'm pointing to the right thing, right? Sometimes, you guys know, those of you who do Flosstube videos, you know, sometimes you get confused by the fact that the camera is backwards. Yeah, I worked on February. I said on my, oh yeah, there it is. I said on my Instagram that I was having real trouble stitching this, probably because of the color of my fabric choice, and the fact that these purples are pretty light. I was having real trouble stitching him until I decided to do the darkest color, the shadow. And once I put these in or started stitching this, I realized that I could see where I was stitching. Now, obviously, I didn't get a lot done, but it made it a lot easier. And I think in the future, that's what I'm going to do, is do the darkest color first. Brittany herself weighed in on that and said that that's what she did. And I think it's a good way to go. Especially on a light fabric with light colors, when they kind of tend to disappear into the fabric, probably best to put the dark stuff in first. And that is on a piece of 28 count even weave. I believe it's Jobelin might be Lugana, from Color and Cotton in the colorway Ruins. I don't always tell you the fabric. I'm sorry, guys. I forget to do that sometimes. If I forget and you want to know, leave me a comment and I will answer if I know what it is. If not, it might be a mystery fabric, but I will definitely tell you if I can. Again, not chronological. I am now going to show you my Save the Stitches. Last time I showed you this, I had finished this block, I think. I think I showed you this one, that I'd completely finished it, filled it in with the metallics and everything. So I was working on this block. I'm not flipping you off, sorry about that. I worked on this block. Obviously I didn't get it finished. I was hoping I would, but again, it's tech week and I was working on it this week and I don't always have the brain power to concentrate. I would do a row and then I would sit and stare blankly at the television for half an hour, 45 minutes. So, but I'm loving this, as so much so that I actually went and downloaded her new stitch along. It's called Tiny Treasures. I think it's Tiny Treasures. It's another free stitch along. She has both a square and a rectangular shape, and I will link it down below so you can go and check it out and stitch it if you'd like to, or save the stitches. Pick up a lot of her things are free. She's got a lot of freebies. She's got a lot of very reasonably priced patterns that are not free. The designer of this is Elizabeth Almond, who runs and owns Blackwork Journey. And yeah, I'm loving Save the Stitches. I'm really looking forward to finishing that and going on to other things. So if you like Blackwork, go check her out. Next up, I will show you my Resting Tiger, which is a Janlin kit, I think. I didn't bring the bags with me today, so I can't tell you for sure, but I think it's a Janlin kit. And this was what I got in a swap that was partially started. And this is where I am. So I actually went and filled in his ear up here. So you can see the white is filled in. I did more on his ear filled that in, and then I started putting in more of the white around his eye and around his face. This part down here, the part that's mostly completed, of course, is the part that was started before I got the canvas. But he's coming along. He's I never feel like I do a lot on him when I stitch on him, but I think this time I got a significant amount done. At least you can see the progress. So it'll probably be more white the next time I pick him up, which should be sometime in the next week. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to having him completed too. I have collected now, since I went through my magazines and all of the things I've picked up along the years, I've collected quite a bit of J. Netley Mayhew's patterns, so perhaps one day I will even have a wall of wildlife. Wouldn't that be exciting? Next up, this is my Doctor Who by Creatively Crafting. This is actually a Mandy Mandazzo pattern, and I showed you the picture last time, so I didn't bring him again this time. I probably should have, so you guys could see him, because you can't really tell from this. But I did work on him. I filled in a couple more of these blocks, and can you see? I just love this piece. I don't know what it is exactly, except for the color. I love the colors, obviously. But I don't know why I like this piece so much. It's a little more pixelated than a Heaven and Earth design tends to be, which my husband likes to make fun of because he doesn't get the whole pixelated thing. But I just love it. I just love the way the colors are blending. I love the way it's coming together. This is on a piece of 18 count undyed Aida. Yes, it's taped. No, I don't care. I'm sorry if that upsets anybody, but the tape gets cut off eventually, so it doesn't really matter. But yeah, I'm having a lot of fun working on him. The next piece I worked on and is the Ostera Pentacle. I think I showed you last time. I had just the barest, the middle part of the leaves done, so it didn't really look like much of anything, just a bunch of green scattered things. This time, in the last couple of weeks, I've been working on getting the actual pentacle filled in, so you can see, I hope, you can see, we've got the basic shape. This is all one shade of brown. I haven't gone back and done more shades because I don't stitch on the same thing for more than a day at a time, usually. But yeah, so I've gotten, all of the leaves are completed. Or one shade of the leaves are completed. This is the majority of one shade of brown that goes around the outside and makes up the shape of the pentacle, and then I will be filling it in over the next few weeks. Hopefully I will get this done before Ostera or Easter. I'm hoping. I have my fingers crossed. I've told my husband about this, so he also knows that this is in the works, and, pardon me, he should pressure me about it if he thinks I'm working on something else too much. Next up, is my Summer Unicorn by Doreen Jones. Another piece of, excuse me, of course I get the hiccups right when I'm filming. It's a piece of 28 count even weave, undyed and taped. Sorry, again, I'm not sorry, but I say sorry because some people get upset. I'm not sorry. But this is where I am on the Summer Unicorn. Let me hold it up so you can see it. So basically, the most amazing part of this, the biggest change, is that I started to fill in the counter color on this spiral. You've seen before that the spiral is there and open. So this pink color, there's pink up here and there's purple down here on the bottom that will go in and make the spiral more apparent. There's more color in the flower, there's more color down here on the bottom, but those aren't really significant chunks of change. This is the big part that changed, and it's not that much because I didn't work on this a lot when it came up in my rotation. It's coming up again in the next few days, so you will see more pink or purple or however much I get done next time. This one is actually a relatively significant change. I don't remember how much of this I had done when I showed you last time. This is my Raven Kin by Selena Fennick, charted by Heaven and Earth Designs. It is a mini, and I completed my 1200 stitches for February on this project. Sorry about my hair. And yeah, so that is the additional 1200 stitches. It is a completed row. It's not a full page, obviously, but I did finish another diagonal. Got down to this one over here. I think another 1200 stitches or so would actually complete the page. And this one actually, you can't tell on the camera, really. I mean, you can't, it's hard to tell because it's not that much of a difference, but this is not actually all black. Go figure. Most of my stuff starts with a corner of black. This is not actually all black. It's actually navy blue, and there's some gray in there. You'll be able to tell more when it's finished, I think, or at least when the page is finished. You can tell, I mean, it does lighten up right in here because it starts to get into where the figure is, but it looks like black on camera, at least to me it does. Next up is my Modern Folk Embroidery Stitch Along from 2018, the 4 Seasons Stitch Along. This is where I am. Last time you saw this, I was about halfway through the diagonal that follows the bird, I think. So this time I have completed, well, mostly completed the reindeer. I've gotten this zigzag started and the start of the flower motifs that are in the middle of that. This is on a piece of 18 count Aida undyed again, but this one at least is serged or overlocked, so you don't have to worry about tape. I am stitching this with Sulky. A Sulky blendable called Royal Navy. It's a very slightly variegated blue. You can see some variegation in the deer. You can see some variegation down here in the zigzag, but it's really faint. I have to talk with my husband about this because I was originally going to do this all in one color, and then I saw some people doing it in different colors for different seasons, and I like the look of that. So I need to figure out what color I'm going to do spring, because the next pattern starts to work into spring. Probably green. You will find out. Possibly next time, but you'll find out when you find out. Maybe at the same time I do. I don't know. But yeah, so that's Modern Folk Embroidery's 4 Seasons Stitch Along from last year. The next one, this is a significant piece that I got to the end of. I did not finish it. Notice that I'm not saying it's a finish. It's not. It's far from a finish. But I did finish a page, and that is on my Death by Cross Stitch. So this is page 1, complete, of Death by Cross Stitch. Put it a little closer so you can see the detail better. I am stitching this in DMC. I'm stitching this in DMC 400 because I really like this sort of cherry brown color. 1/1 on 28 count even weave. This is an MCG textile, so it's not actually even, as you can sort of see by the elongated flowers and stuff. The page is a rectangle anyway, so that's not caused by the fabric, but some of the shapes are a little bit different in here because the fabric is not actually an even weave. Doesn't bother me. It looks fine to me. But yeah, there's more proof that MCG Textiles fabric was not always even. But yeah, this is the first page. I finished it. Yay! And I'm going to move on to the second page, which will go over here. I'm going to work this diagonally by page. I work it in rows across. I haven't seen any page lines. You tell me. Can you see or row lines in there? It's not a solid piece of stitching, so I'm kind of guessing you won't really be able to see it. But yeah, I'm working it in rows across, and then, well, I work it in rows across, but I do work it still in 10 by 10 blocks because that helps me keep track of where I am. But I'm going to do the pages diagonally, so I will go to page 2 next, and then we'll go to page 5, I believe, is the page that goes below page 1. There are 16 pages. I have 1 done. I have a long way to go, but I'm going to get there. Let's see. Oh, next. I worked on my Raven Queen by Mirabilia for Aussie Stitcher's birthday stitch along. She likes to work on Mirabilias, and so some of us joined in and stitched on our Mirabilias to celebrate her big day. So this is where I am on Raven Queen now. So basically what I did, you know that I already had stitched this part, the center part. So I basically came over here and worked on the column on the right-hand side of the fabric. Sorry, left-hand side of the fabric. Looking at it, it's left-hand side. For me, it's, as I'm pointing to it, right hand. So, again, backwards. But this is what I worked on. Put those grays in. I was worried about the fact that there was so much gray in it, and I was doing this on a gray fabric. It's a stormy gray from somebody. I got it from 123 Stitch. I'm not sure who actually dyed the fabric. So I was worried about some of those grays, but I think you can see them. I think they show up just fine. Not sure where I'll work next time I pull her out. She is coming up in the next few days as well, so you will see more of her next time, but I'm pretty happy with her. And I love working on her. I have discovered that I really like working on the fancy ladies, the Mirabilias, the Joan Elliots, some Leslie Tears, some Shannon Christines. I really like them. So I could very easily just have an entire wall of those as well, someday when I finish things. The last thing I'm going to show you is the first thing I worked on after I filmed the last video. I told you on February 15th that I was going to be working on this, and I did after I'd made my video. This is Believe. It is an old pattern, like 1997, something like that, from the Stitchery magazine, which no longer exists. It's a big piece of fabric. See, big piece of fabric. It's not that big. It's not as big as it looks when I do that because perspective. But it is a piece of 16 count Aida that I dyed and did the ink bled on, so ignore the blotches on it. Like this. They won't show. But 16 count Aida that I dyed, and they are cherubs. So it's the word believe, and then there are cherubs in the letters. I thought it was cute. I like angels. What can I tell you? Anyway, I got quite a bit done, actually. I got on the B and started the E over here. So, for something that I've had for that long and not touched, I'm actually pretty impressed by the fact that I got this much done. So, I don't know when this is coming up again. It is not on the schedule for the next few days, but eventually it will. Eventually it will get finished. And you will all be impressed, right? Maybe not. I will be impressed because I finished something. Right. So, I said I was going to show you other things today. I went pretty quickly through all of my works in progress. I apologize if that was too fast for you. I tried to show you, I tried to hold it up long enough that you got a chance to see it. If you feel like I'm going too quickly, I'm talking too quickly, let me know. I can always make changes. I just, like I said, the last couple of videos, I have run out of space on my phone and had to patch things together. I don't like to do that. I'd like to do it all in one take if I can. So, rush. Right. Let's talk about haul. I was going to show you the other stuff, but let me talk about haul first, because I don't really have a lot. The main thing I have is I got my shipment of fabric from XJU Design in Hungary. I got the February club shipment. I get 18 count Aida. I've got an awful lot of even weave and a few pieces of linen. And so I decided I would get Aida from her. I did last time, I did this time, and I'm pretty happy with it. Her Aida is very soft. Well, it's not very soft, but it's soft. It's not the stiff, crinkly stuff that you get from kits sometimes. And it smells, as those of you who have gotten any of her fabric know, it smells fantastic. I don't know what she uses to rinse her fabric, but it smells really good. Don't stop. But this is my club fabric, and oh, you're not going to be able to see that, are you? That's going to wash out. It's not a very dark fabric. It is a pastel-y kind of color. It's called Hydrangea. If I pull it back here, can you see it? Well, if I pull it back here, I can't really tell whether you can see it. It's a very light blue, and it has some really pretty purple. Can you see it if I hold it up close? It has some really pretty purple modeling on it. Really pretty. I mean, there's this like purple shading. It's really pretty. I've said that 4 times now. Trust me. It's definitely something I could see a mermaid going on. It's definitely something that a fairy could go on. I get a fat quarter of fabric, so I have plenty to work with. Yeah, I'm very happy with this. And then the other part of my haul is not really haul. It's more of a rediscovery. We have been going through boxes that we've had packed up since we moved 6 years ago. So we've been going through boxes and cleaning things out, getting rid of things, figuring out what's in there. And my husband found a box full of my crafting stuff. So I went through that recently, and I discovered not only several leaflets and patterns and things that I didn't remember that I had or had thought I'd lost, but I also discovered that I have several of the Leisure Art series of Christmas Remembered. Can you see that? Christmas Remembered? You remember these books, don't you? Some of you will. They were hardback books. There was a subscription service, and I don't know how many of them there ended up being. I think I have 5 or 6 total. I had known that I had 1 for sure, Well, I found four in that box, and I think there are a couple more somewhere else. But like, I found Tokens of Affection, which has a lot of holiday stuff. I think this is really cute. The Friends Forever. I have a friend that I could probably make that for, and she would probably really appreciate it. But there's a lot of cute stuff in here. This has Valentine's Day stuff, it has autumn stuff, it has winter stuff, it has Christmas stuff because it is part of Christmas Remembered. But yeah, I have, like I said, several of these. I have Christmas Traditions, which is obviously a book full of Christmas stuff. Little instruments on the back. I didn't show you the back. Oh, I did show you the back of Tokens of Friendship. But yeah, so I found four of those books. I found some other patterns. I found my Egyptian sampler from Teresa Wessler, which I think I have shown before. I found that leaflet again. I hope I didn't rebuy it. I might have. I found a carousel horse that I definitely bought because I have the book. I might actually have 2 copies of the book, but I also have an extra leaflet. So some of those things at some point might be given up for giveaway, or I might send them to people. I don't know. But yeah, I found some cool stuff. Okay, now I'm going to show you the other stuff that I've been doing because it's my video and I can. And some people have said that they're interested, so. As I said when I came back in episode 30, I think, that I used to do diamond painting. I think I was one of the first people on Flosstube to bring diamond painting into our community. I'm certainly not the only person who does it now. There are a lot of you, and a lot of you are doing some really amazing projects, which is cool. I love seeing them. I really do. But I finally finished, 2 years later, I finally finished my first diamond painting. Go figure. So you guys remember this one, I think, I hope. My little partial wolf woman snow globe looking thing. It is finished, completely finished. Again, it is a partial, so this part over here does not have diamonds on it. It's just printed. The snow globe itself and the wolf and the woman, can you tell? That all has diamonds. So all of this in here, you can hear it. All of that is diamond, and it's not going to sparkle real well because of the light, but they're sparkly. They're pretty. I'm going to try to do, I talked a long time ago, I talked about trying to do canvas mounting for these. As in buying a canvas, stretching this over the canvas, and then sealing and painting the edges. So we get rid of all of this stuff, all of the printing that's on the canvas if you don't trim it off. I'm going to do that probably not until after my show closes because time. But I will do it. I don't know if I'm going to make a video about it because I don't really have a good setup for filming that. I can try. We'll see. So maybe a video about doing it, but I will definitely show you the end result. I don't want to frame, especially this one that's so small and it's not that exciting. I mean, it's not a full coverage. It's not that detailed. It's not that, it's very pixelated. So I have some, and it's they're round tiles, if you can see that, I hope. Oh, that's actually a good way to get you to see the sparkle, though. Check it out. It's sparkly. They're round tiles, so I don't necessarily feel like I need to frame this to keep it nice or anything. So I will try the canvas finish, and I will show you what that looks like. But yeah, I finished a diamond painting. Yay! Oh, I could show you. I did actually get more haul. Speaking of diamond painting, I did succumb to the siren call of Diamond Art Club. Danielle Stitcherista has talked about them a couple times. They are advertised all over Facebook and Instagram. If you follow diamond painting at all, they're everywhere. I did succumb to their 2-for-1 sale. They had another one after Black Friday, and I did get a couple of canvases. I should have taken the canvases out if I was going to show them to you so you could see them, but I can show you the pictures. One I got is the yin yang owl, which I just think is really cool. That's what it will look like when it's finished. These are both kind of large canvases. They're not the little, they're not this. They're not this little partial canvas, right? These are things that will take up some space. This one is smaller than the other one, but I thought he was cool. The canvas is really nice. Danielle talked about the fact that the canvas was very soft in her review, and one of their selling points, one of their, beneficial buy from us because points is that their canvases are really soft, and they are. They are very velvety, very soft. They feel really nice. Compared to the normal diamond canvases, which are kind of stiff and scratchy. I mean, it's just a piece. I mean, it feels like a piece of vinyl. That's all. The Diamond Art Club canvases are much softer. The other one I got, excuse all my leaning, I didn't plan well. The other one I got is a Mandy Mendazzo. I've talked about her before. I really like her stuff. And she has partnered, I found out, from the woman who runs Creatively Crafting. She's actually partnered with Diamond Art Club to sell her artwork as diamond painting kits with that particular company. So there are a lot of her pieces there, and I want most of them. Yeah, Mandy Mendazzo. It's probably going to be hard to see because it's a small picture. But can you see it? I have to cover my face, sorry, so I can't see what you see. But it's the Tree of Life, which I think is a fantastically beautiful piece of artwork. This is a very big canvas. I mean, it's big. But again, the canvas is very good quality. The colors are great. This has the Aurora Borealis diamonds, so they should have extra reflective qualities. I'm really looking forward to working on that when I get through some of my other things. I'm doing my best to resist buying any more because I don't need to buy any more because I have plenty to work on, but you know how that goes. The other thing I'm going to show you, the last thing I'm going to show you, is a crochet toy. If you have watched my videos before, or looked at my Instagram, or followed me for a while on either, you know that I have made crocheted dragons in the past. They are patterns that were written by Megan. Oh gosh, I'm not going to remember her last name now. Her name's Megan. And she has a company called, what are they called? It's called Crafty Intentions, and you can buy her patterns on Etsy. You can follow her webpage or her page on Facebook. You can follow her on Instagram at Crafty Intentions. She does a lot of crochet patterns, crochet dolls. They are not dolls for kids in that they are wire sculptures. Basically, there is wire in them. You can try to do them without the wire, though I don't know how they would hold up. All of mine have wire in them, so that I don't make them for little kids, little kids. Or at the very least, if I do, I warn the parent or the purchaser repeatedly that there's wire in them because we don't want kids poking their eyes out or choking or anything like that. But she writes beautiful, intricate, detailed, many-pieced crochet patterns. And I finished another pattern. I finished a pony. Now this is a little guy. He's not the size of the dragons. He's sort of a mini version of her patterns. But this is the Pegasus version of the pony. Ta-da! And his eyes are a little big. In the future I will not be using... Oh, it is still recording. Maybe. In the future I will not be using eyes this big. Anyway, Pegasus. He has wired wings. You can bend them and pose them. He does not have wires in his legs. He does have glass gems to make him stand up a little better. The mane, as you can tell, is all crocheted. There are other ways to do that. But anyway, Pegasus. This is one of the other things that I do. And I do and will be taking commissions for these guys. If you're interested, leave me a note. I'm not actually taking commissions right now, but I can talk to you about what you might want. I need to make a couple other patterns because she has a lot, and I want to see how long it takes me to make them before I can tell people how much they'll cost. Just for your information on this guy, he took me about 8 hours total to make. I will be selling these guys like standard things, like this guy. He's just a, invention of my mind for $65. Not including shipping. So wherever he needs to be shipped, that will be additional. Keep in mind that I am in the United States. Shipping from the United States to anywhere other than, Canada can get really expensive. So, just to let you know. Within the States, it's fine. But outside, internationally, I do ship internationally, but it can be expensive. Anyway, that's that. And I'm going to go because, as always, my camera is telling me that I'm running out of space. It's still recording, so I think I'm going to be able to piece the videos together, but I need to stop relatively soon before it stops altogether. So, thank you again for watching my videos. Thank you for putting up with my fast forward talking. I hope that you enjoyed it. I hope that you are doing well. I hope you've had time to do some great stitching and crafting of your own in the last couple of weeks. I will come back to you in another couple of weeks and show you what I've been working on. I will show you. I did get some haul. I'm going to start a new project. My birthday is on Friday, March 8th, which is actually opening night of my show, which is going to be doubly exciting. So I did order something for my birthday so I could start a new project. Not the only, but one of the few new projects I'm going to start this year probably. I will show you that when it gets here. And yeah, for now, take care, and I'll see you next time. Bye.